Welcome to day 25 of my Seed a Day seed starting marathon, and today's seeds are marigolds. As always, my first step is to put my labels on my tags, so I'm going to go ahead and get that done now. Just going to be mass sowing all these seeds in these pots here. They're old proven winners pots, and I'm just going to fill them up, sprinkle a few seeds on top, and go to the next variety.
I walked up a strange new staircase. I didn't have a plan. I tried to turn around, but I was in a different land. A faceless man beckoned me to where time began. I couldn't find my way back to where the staircase ends. Fell into the structure where
the first marigold I have is called Spinning Wheels Marigold.
Walls don't meet the ceiling. Stepped across the canvas while the stenciled floor was peeling.
The next one I have is Strawberry Blonde.
Sideways till the corners came together. Endless was the staircase, winding on.
This one is French Double Dwarf Mixed Colors. And since I'm opening this package, I will have to get a baggie to put any seeds that's not planted, so I will set those over to the side.
Forever.
The next one is Mission Giant Marigold.
The birds in the air.
The next one is Naughty Marietta Marigold.
Became the fish under the surf. From the top.
The next one is Disco Mix Marigold. And there's not very many of these seeds, so I will be planting them all. Really need to try to, let me put a little last on here so I know that I'm out of these. I like to mark the ones that I'm out of in a way to where when I look at the tag, I know that, oh, that's the last of these seeds, so I probably should save some seeds. I just write last on the tag. I know I planted the last of my seed.
Floor I have witnessed flying geese.
I'm going to set these over here so I know that I've planted all those. I can take them out of my inventory.
Windows between hallways.
Next is Keys Orange, and this marigold here is so intensely orange. It's one of the big tall ones. It gets about 2 to 3 feet tall, at least for me it does, and it has these large, like, double blooms on them, I guess is what they're called. It is so orange, even compared to like the Cracker Jack mix. Those will be yellow and orange. This one is a much more intense orange.
Always had a view of the world balanced on the.
Next is Bambino Marigold.
The edge I was without a clue. Fell into the structure where the wall.
The next one I have are seeds that I saved, and this is Orange Gem Marigold. And this marigold, the leaves on this smell so good. They don't smell like a normal marigold. If you ever grow these Orange Gem Marigold, they have like these ferny type leaves, and they just smell so good.
Don't meet the ceiling. Stepped across the canvas while.
This is Petite Yellow Marigold. And I planted these last year, and they just provided me such a beautiful carpet of yellow flowers. They're the smaller ones. They don't get real tall. But my garden struggled last year. My vegetable garden did, with the exception of the ground cherries and the basil. Everything struggled up in that garden. These marigolds, they did wonderful. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it.
Stenciled floor was peeling. Turned the upside sideways till the corners came together. And this was the...
This one is spun orange marigold. And I'll be planting all of these because there's not very many seeds in the package.
Staircase, winding on forever.
The next one is this Eskimo marigold, and it's like a light creamy yellow. It shows up white on here, but I find that they're slightly more yellow than what this would suggest.
Felt like I was going under.
The next one is Jolly Jester Marigold, and these ones get tall too, but the flowers themselves aren't large double flowers. They're still really cool looking.
Walking up to who knows where. I was lost in the wonder. It was an unusual affair. A shadow.
I had 2 spun oranges, so I had 2 tags for spun orange, so I don't have one less variety than I thought I did. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes when I'm making my little labels, I print off one too many. So the last one I have is Orange Flame Marigold. And this is a small one. It says it's a dwarf French type, bronze red to orange. And I just thought that the flowers looked interesting. And plus I like having the short marigolds to plant with like my veggies and just to be able to stuff in different spots. The tall marigolds are beautiful, but they can be somewhat harder to find the space for if you're just wanting to stuff them in between your vegetables for, you know, pest management and for beauty. Alright, that is all of my marigolds. Hello y'all, welcome to day 26 of the Seed a Day Seed Starting Marathon that was originally started by Flower Hill Farm, but I have decided to follow along with making these videos. And today we have 2 different types of flowers. I've got some Asters I'm going to do, and I've got some Alyssum that I'm going to do. And we're getting down to the wire, so I'll probably be doubling up, at least doubling up, maybe tripling up on some of these last few videos that I'm doing. But who knows, maybe not. Maybe I'll only be in the mood to do one variety. With the Asters, I am going to fill up these Old Proven Winners containers that I have. I'm just going to sprinkle the seed on top and then cover them. And as always, I've pre-printed my labels, so I'm going to go ahead and get my labels on my tags for both the Alyssum and the peony, or I said peonies, I mean Asters. And then we'll get started with the planting.
In the corner, a face reflected in the sun, but the canvas was unfinished.
So I'm going to start with my Asters. So I'm going to go ahead and get 8 pots filled up because I have 8 varieties here. And I actually already have 1 pot filled up because it was left over from yesterday when I planted my marigolds. I made 2 tags for one of my varieties, so I thought that I had an extra variety. So that pot's already filled up, so I just need 7 more.
Sure, had only just begun.
The first one I have is Needle Mix Aster.
The waterfall that fed it.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and plant all of these. There's not a ton of seeds in here. There's a few, but go ahead and plant all of those and see how it works out. The next one is seed that someone saved, and I'm just going to plant these and see what happens. I got these from a seed swap.
Self was really quite astounding. World dissolved into.
I've got this container here of seeds that I need to put up, and my asters don't have their own little container yet, so I'll put those there. That was Hulk. The next one is Red Matsumoto. And so let me look for that tag. I'm just going to plant the rest of these because I winter sowed some of these and there's not very many seeds left. And I decided I want to winter sow some and do some this way just in case the winter sown ones didn't work out. Usually they do. I usually have really great luck with winter sowing, and the last time I grew asters, I actually winter sowed them all. I want to say that was in 2020 or 2021. The next one is Pom Pom Hino Maru Aster. This is one of the varieties I grew when I grew asters last time, and they are so cute. They're very beautiful.
Pieces and orbited around me. The floor became the ceiling.
The next one is Pom Pom Blue Moon Aster. There's a little picture there. It's kind of like the one that I just showed you, except for instead of being pink in the middle, it's purple in the middle.
And the hallway turned around. I was lost in patterns, just not the patterns that I found.
The next one is this Sea Star Mix Aster, and I got these in a seed swap.
Fell into the structure where the walls don't meet the ceiling. Stepped across.
The next type of aster came from the same person, and it is Ostrich Feather Aster.
The canvas while the stencil floor was peeling.
And then the last one is Apricot Peony Aster.
Sideways till the corners came together. Endless was the staircase.
All right, that is all my asters taken care of. Now I have, let me put this aside. Now I have this Alyssum. And last year I just mass sowed my Alyssum, and they were kind of hard to get separated. So what I think I'm going to do this year, I've got 3 varieties, and these have 6 rows, so I'm going to do 2 rows of each variety. But I'm just going to, these seeds are tiny, so I'm just going to sprinkle a few seeds in each cell, and then when I plant them, I'll mass plant them, I'll clump plant them. That means I won't separate them, I'll just plant the whole thing all together. And that's the way ultimately I planted them last year, because I planted them in one of these type of thingies. But I mass sowed them, and when I went to plant them, they were so hard at the time and so small at the time to get separated that I just took a little clump and planted it. So basically, in a roundabout way, that's kind of what I'm doing this year. But they'll be individual cells, and that cell will be a little small clump. And that's only because the seeds are so tiny, and it would take forever to get them separated, to sit there and try to get 1 seed or 2 seeds per cell. So this is the Royal Carpet Alyssum. Just going to sprinkle a few in my hand. Let's see, do these need light? It says cover with an 1/8 inch of soil. So I'm just going to take a small pinch and drop a small pinch in each cell. That's still several seeds. It'd be about like trying to spread pepper or little grains of salt. I think instead of covering them with soil, I'm just going to cover them with vermiculite. I'll just put a thicker layer on. Okay, now I'm done with that variety. Put the rest of the seedlings back in. I think future me is going to thank myself at planting time. Now let's do the carpet of snow alyssum next.
Winding on forever. Staircase, staircase, climbing through the maze.
And lastly, we are doing the gold dust alyssum. And this is, the yellow is a perennial. It's a hardy perennial, and it does not say what zones it is, so I will put the zones on the screen. The other two, the royal carpet and the carpet of snow alyssum, are both annuals, but this gold alyssum is a perennial. I had some growing at one time, but then I think I damaged it when I was moving some plants that were around it, or it just didn't like where it was planted. It came back for like 3 years in a row, and then it didn't come back the 4th year. So I'm just planting these the same way. These seeds are a little bit bigger. I probably could have just planted one per cell, but I'm just planting these the same way. I am sprinkling a little bit less seed in these ones. That worked out perfect. I don't really have any to put back. Alright, now let me get my vermiculite. I'm just going to cover these with vermiculite because I think it'll just be easier. Just put a nice thick layer of vermiculite on instead of a thin layer. Not too thick though. That's all of those. Thank you. Let me move this. Thank you so much for watching today's Seed a Day Seed Starting Marathon. I will see you on the next one. Bye.